Hello everyone, this is Night Sky and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Emerald version. Last time you saw me, the same Team Aqua Grunts we revisited in the hideout hinted that their boss Archie went to steal a submarine in Slateport. We were too late in stopping them, another L for us, and he taunted us to chase them back at the hideout, but all the grunts and their admin Matt successfully stalled us into letting their boss make another getaway. And in this episode, we are not going to be exploring Mossy City and tracking him down in the vast blue ocean. He could be anywhere. We are actually here in the shores of Lily Cove because there is a Pokemon I want to catch, our 6th and final team member. I rushed to Moss Deep to grab the Super Rod because the Whalmer, the Team Aqua Grunt, was vigorously training. They're no longer here after their boss made that getaway. And now, since we have the Super Rod, I'm going to now fish in the shore of Lily Cove to catch our 6th and final team member. It can only be caught once you get the Super Rod, and it can only be found here in Lily Cove. So I'll be right back once I encounter it. Okay then. 3.5 hours later, I found the fucking Staryu that I was trying to RNG manipulate. Fishing is a little bit inconsistent. Now I can close that freaking window and tell you about why my 6th and final team member is gonna be Staryu. Staryu is a pure water type Pokemon. It can only be caught in Lily Cove via the Super Rod. It's going to have one of two abilities. The first one, Illuminate, making Pokemon appear more often if it's at the front of your party. Or Natural Cure, the much more superior ability. Natural Cure heals the status condition of your Pokemon when it is swapped out of battle. And yeah, you know I RNG manipulated it for the Natural Cure. What's special about this specific Staryu, why I really wanted this one, is it is timid max speed and has pretty good IVs. I'll have to relook up the IVs because I forgot what I manipulated for. We're gonna Thunder Wave it. Staryu has a pretty high catch rate, so all we'll need to do is paralyze it. I'm gonna go for a dive ball to catch this thing in. Yo, dive ball. No, it didn't shake. Staryu's main weakness is paralysis, but because of the Natural Cure, it can get around that. It has pretty good special attack and speed, but not for the standards of how late we can obtain it. Staryu's data will be added to the Pokédex. It gathers with others in the night and makes its red core glow on and off with the twinkling stars. It can regenerate limbs if they are severed from its body. Give a nickname to the captured Staryu? Yes. Your nickname is going to be probably the second most simple nickname for me to come up with. You're gonna be Yumi. Yumi means sea in Japanese. It is a starfish. It lives in the sea. Let me double check its stats. Timid, Natural Cure, level 30. Oh, we can take an item from it. 50% of the time it will hold a Stardust. 50% or 5% of the time it will hold a Star Piece. Personally, I like using the Amulet Coin on rematch trainers, but it is also an option if you want to get more money. Alright, let's heal you in the Pokemon Center, and I'll be right back. Yeah, here's the Staryu I was aiming for. It was on frame 78, 75. I initially tried to aim for Method H2, but for some reason I landed on Method H4. But it's okay, it's the same IVs and timid max speed stats that I want. So Yumi the Staryu is now a brand new addition in our team. Okay, I cleaned up our inventory and sold a few items and bought some repels. We're gonna go into our PC and withdraw some items I've been saving up for our final team member. It's gonna be all of these vitamins. And do we need these PPFs right now? I don't think so. We can always save them. And where's that mystic water? Right here. I also want this. Let's give Yumi the HP up, calcium, zinc, and carbos. Since they are a new team member, they won't have any effort value, so they're gonna need the boost. So I was saving all of these just for them. Now they're not gonna be holding the mystic water just yet. We need Yumi to hold the amulet coin, because I'm going to challenge a few trainers from the Pokénev if they're rich. And now for your moves. The first and obvious one is gonna be the HM for Surf, so we don't need Rigby anymore to surf around, plus it's a great attacking move for our water type. Yumi wants to learn the move Surf, however Yumi already knows 4 moves. Should a move be deleted and which one should be forgotten? Obviously Bubble Beam. Surf is a stronger version. And we learned Surf, and now the second most important TM is going to be Ice Beam. We got this quite a while back since we got Surf. 95 power, 100% accurate ice move, has a 10% chance to freeze, and it only has 10 power points. Oh, that's what I should use our PP maxes on this move. Yumi wants to learn Ice Beam, but they already know 4 moves. Should a move be deleted? Let's get rid of Camouflage. 1, 2, and poof. Yumi forgot how to use Camouflage and learned Ice Beam. Gonna use the PP Max for Ice Beam. Let's use it on Yumi. Be very careful and select Ice Beam. So now instead of 10 power points, Ice Beam power points is maximized to 16. Now for Yumi's final TM that I'm going to teach them for now is going to be bought here in the Mauville Game Corner. It is really expensive, but I have nothing else to spend money on, and I might end up keeping this move. You can exchange your coins for prizes. So your choice is TM24 Thunderbolt. Yeah. Yumi has one of the best offensive coverage. It gets Ice Beam and Thunderbolt. 2 great dual coverage moves along with Surf. Let's go into the bag. Items, key items, TMs and HMs. 24 for Thunderbolt. Yumi is one of the very few Pokemon that's a water type that has the ability to fry other water types with super effective electric moves. And one as powerful as Thunderbolt. We're gonna get rid of Swift. 1, 2, and poof. Yumi forgot how to use Swift and learn Thunderbolt. So yeah. You just see me put 3 really amazing offensive moves, like the best ice move, the best electric move, and the best water move that has 100% accuracy. That's all the modifications I'm going to give to Yumi for now. Let's see who in our Pokénev that is rich wants to rematch. Match call. Oh, Gentleman Walter. He gets a lot of money. Check. calm and collected strategy Pokemon of distinction is the trainer's Pokemon. Self-introduction. We enjoy a spot of tea every day. It's important. And it tells us he's on Route 121. Oh, we can see that on the overview screen, but let's call him before we battle him. It's me, Walter. Are you still catching Pokemon? I've been trying to catch them myself, but it's not so easy. The way of Pokemon is deep. Alright, let's hunt them down in Route 121. Hey yo, Walter, what's up, bro? With my Pokemon, I've traveled to the world's four corners. You might say I have some confidence in my abilities. Yeah. Give us your money. What level Pokemon are you gonna have? Oh, level 34 Manectric. Ooh, not good for our Yumi. Wow, that Manectric was annoying. It roared twice. Well, first it sparked, and then it paralyzed Rosetta, and then she couldn't attack to finish it off, and it kept spamming roar. Kyo grew to level 38. And we defeated Gentleman Walter. We got 5,440 for winning. Thank you. Alright, who else is rich that we can take money from? Oh, there was no more people that are rich to take money from, so let's go back to Lily Cove, and now that we have Yumi in our party, let's head east onto the next route towards Moss Deep. Alright, they took a little while to defeat, but in Route 125 there's one item to be found, the Big Pearl, and the rest are just trainers that we can defeat on our own time if we want to. I don't even know how many trainers there are actually. Can we avoid you? Oh yes we can. Now it's somewhere here in the north. Oh, right over here. Bro, where is it? I actually forgot. Oh, it's right here. Right next to those two girls that will initiate a double battle, but I'm gonna save it because you might want a water type other than Yumi if you prefer something more bulky here in the Shoal Cave. And the first time you go here, you're gonna see it's mostly filled with water, and there's an NPC up here. Are you planning on going deep in there? That will bring me back some shoal salt and shoal shells. I can make you something good if you bring me the ingredients. This water here in the Shoal Cave is another time-dependent event. A tide lasts every 6 hours from 3 AM, where it starts low. So when it's 9 AM, the tide will change to high. I will show you the chart of when the tide changes. Each tide will grant you access to new items. Let's go collect some now that the tide is high There's not much to explore. Honestly, the lower tide is more interesting, so if you really wanted to, you can have your clock set in the beginning of the game. Oh, to have it a low tide. And there's a wild Spheal. When you run around in the Shoal Cave without a rappel up, you can find one new Pokemon. It can only be found here, and it's 50% of the time. I say this a lot, but it's one of my favorites, the awesome IQ Ice and Water type Spheal. We can finally catch an Ice type, and it's a good one. Ice is the worst defensive typing, but being part water hard carries it. It has one ability in Thick Fat, giving your fire resistance back and getting an absurd 8 times resistance to ice. When you catch it, it already has good moves. Aurora Beam, which lowers attack 10% of the time if you can't afford another Ice Beam right away. Body Slam, which I gushed over a lot for the paralysis. And the interesting signature move Ice Ball, the ice version of Rollout. At level 32, it will evolve into Celio. Its stats become much better, like a standard bulky water, but remember, this thing gets stabbed on its ice moves. It won't be long until you can finally evolve it at level 42 into Walrein, the Ice Break Pokemon. It plays like a more offensive Lapras if you use one in Fire Red and Leaf Green. I've used one, I enjoyed it a lot. This thing takes so many hits and it does so well against both the enemy teams. It can surf all of Team Magma's Pokemon, and it can body slam the Team Aqua's water types to death, and destroy both of their Golbats with Ice Beam Stab. For the fourth move, I forgot what I put, but Stab Blizzard seems ridiculous if you can't land one. Okay, that should have been more than enough time to give Spheal a little bio. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. I used one in one of my playthroughs, and it is so good. Stab Ice Beam hurts so much. And it also gets Body Slam, so it can paralyze stuff. Like, obviously it's not 100% paralysis rates, but 30% is pretty high. And you can paralyze ground types too. There's an item up here. Like an actual item to collect. I believe this one's the more important item. Oh, we get a rare candy. Delicious. Sorry about that. There is one more item we can get in the high tide. It's going to be in the entrance room though, but for now let's collect the rest of the Shoal shells. Oh, there's an exit over there. Here's the last Shoal shell. I believe we collected all of them. There's only 4 to collect. Oh, we need one more. Where could it be? Or the top left. I don't know if using like compass direction confuses things. But it sounds so fancy. Yeah, that's everything we can do in the high tide. The only way to change the tide in the... Oh. Yeah, here's the other item. Now we have every item we can get in the high tide. Right now we're collecting Shoal shells in the high tide. Once you have 4 of each, the old man in the beginning of the cave in the entrance will make you the item, the Shell Bell. The Shell Bell is a held item that heals you 1/8 of the damage you dealt, rounded down. Unfortunately, because we have a dead battery, we can't change it without... Well, during the main story we can transfer our save onto an emulator and wait the 6 hours for the tide to change, but I'm going to assume you don't have access to a cartridge read and writer to do that. The only other way with the actual cartridge itself is if you use arbitrary code execution in the post game. And because the latter can be done with just the cartridge, I'm gonna do the arbitrary code execution method, since I know everyone doesn't have a computer to use all these programs with. Hello. this is a retrospective voiceover. I did end up editing my .sav file with pkhex to advance the RTC to low tide. I recorded it with the Delta emulator for iPad, but this save will not be transferred back to my cartridge, making this footage non-canon to the playthrough. I really wanted to show it for demonstration purposes because it felt really weird not going the entire, much more interesting section of the Shoal cave. There's even a new Pokemon down there to catch and I will go over it, and the shell bell item in our inventory. So enjoy the footage. Once again, the low tide .sav file is not going back onto the cartridge. I will revisit this in the post game to show you how to change the tide without any nonsense like devices and computer programs. You can solder a new battery to the PCB on your game, but the RTC will reset to January 1st, 2000, leaving all the time events to still be frozen. The only way to fix this is 1. Restart your entire save file, or 2. Use a cartridge read and writer to extract your .sav file to edit the RTC manually with a computer program. If you can extract your .sav file, I'd say just get an Everdrive. You're already at a point where you do anything for your game, and the Everdrive will give you the benefits of a fresh battery and saving your original cartridge from wearing out its pins. The other new Pokemon in Shoal Cave can only be encountered in this ice room if your time is set to a low tide. Fairly rare, you can find Snorunt 10% of the time. Snorunt is the Pokemon series' first pure ice type. No, I'm not counting Castform Snowy. Only one ability, Inner Focus. It has 50 in every stat and it doesn't evolve until level 42. So babysitting this thing with an EXP share is mandatory until then because it's so weak versus what you're fighting, and remember, ice is the worst defensive typing and it is pure ice. It is weak to fighting, fire, rock and steel, resists only itself, and takes everything else for neutral damage. So what does it evolve into at level 42? Well, nothing impressive unfortunately. Glalie is the same but has base 80 in every stat instead of 50. You get Crunch and Ice Beam at a good level, but that's it. Stab 80 is lackluster and 80 bulk is okay if it didn't have the worst defensive typing. Glalie is tough to use. The novelty of having the only pure ice non-legendary Pokemon could earn you some cool points at least. Pun intended. And anyways, that's everything we can do for now in the Shoal Cave. I'm gonna battle a few trainers, and I'll meet you in the Moss Deep City.